Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
This is Cory Marks, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I bring you guys and gals awesome interviews. First off, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys and gals out there. Hope you guys have an awesome feast, and you enjoy your family. That's right, I said enjoy your family. Don't fight over a turkey. Don't fight over the mashed potatoes or the rolls or whatever, who's going to get the last Bud Light. I don't care. Just be thankful you're around them. If not, go out and find them in the yard or something. I don't know. Post it somewhere. I don't know. Just be fun. I don't know. Anyway, just have a good Thanksgiving. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Cory Marks on the show. Cory has released his debut single, Outlaws and Outsiders, featuring Travis Tritt, Ivan Moody, and Mick Mars via Better Noise Music. Cory is Better Noise Music Nashville's flagship artist. Also, they are tour planned for 2020 with Gord Bamford, and that starts Friday, February 21st in 2020 and runs through Saturday, June 6th. So, Cory, welcome to the show, man, and happy Thanksgiving to you, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, John. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too, and all you lovely American friends out there.
Let's jump right into this, man. How's it been working with Better Noise Music so far for you?
It's been great since we've been planning this release, and they're just a group of great, hardworking people, and very thankful to have them on my side, and obviously thankful, to have to be a flagship artist on a rock label, the first and only country artist on a rock label. After knocking on a bunch of doors in Nashville and getting that big fat no, it's nice to have someone who finally says yes, believes in the art, the artist, and the music, and just super thankful to be on this label with some great people and some great friends and great artists, and very lucky and very happy to finally have some music out. That's
why you never, ever give up, because there'll be 1,000 doors that close, and eventually one door will open up and welcome you with arms wide open.
Yeah, unless you kick it down.
That's very true. That is very true. And then you go to jail. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you signed with 11-7. How did that come about, and what was your reaction when you found out they wanted to sign you, man?
Well, I started writing this record with Kevin Churko and his son Kane Churko. We were working out of Las Vegas since the fall of 2015, and we wrote and recorded a few songs. I went in there with a couple that I'd already written, and then I wrote a couple with Kevin and Kane, and we recorded about 5-6 songs, and I was really proud of it. We all really loved it, and my management and agency loved it, and we brought it to some labels in Nashville, as I was saying, and it didn't really quite fit the box. So because it's obviously a little bit heavier, doesn't have that pop sound, and it's definitely got that. It's got some real country music and real rock and roll all mixed together. So Kevin, producing Five Finger Death Punch, who's on the label, thought, why don't I bring it to these guys and just see what they say? And he brought it to Alan Kovac and the team at 11-7 at the time, which is now Better Noise. And they just absolutely loved it, jumped on it right away. So we had a chat with, Kevin and my manager, Louie, and just thought, what, we've got quite a few no's in Nashville. Why don't we jump on a rock label in New York that's arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, indie rock label in the world, with great success with bands like, obviously Five Finger and Bad Wolves and those heavy rock and roll, metal guys. And we thought we'd give it a shot. And it's been a long process planning all this out and getting all our ducks in a row, as you say. And now it's finally out, and we just found out earlier today that it's the #1 hard rock, #1 rock, and #1 country on Billboard at the moment.
Congratulations, man. That's not that's hard, folks. That's not just something simple, very to do.
And that's with no radio play. We haven't gone to radio at all, so it's all thanks to the streamers and downloaders and buyers out there on Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora, and all those streaming devices. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody across North America and worldwide who is making this small town boy's dream come true. and putting us up at number one. Really appreciate it and love you guys.
Now, your debut single, Outlaws and Outsiders, like I said, it features country music legend Travis Tritt, which this is his first recording in 14 years, folks. And when I saw that, I was kind of dumbfounded because I was like, really? 14 years? Because, you know, I grew up. I grew up listening to country and stuff, so I'm not afraid to admit that. I listen to country still this day every now and again. But I was like, 14 years? Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, man, and really thankful to have him on it. And not only that, just the fact that he believes in me as an artist and believes in this music and art that we've created, and he wanted to be part of it, and not only him, but I think everybody on this song, Ivan and Mick, we're all outlaws in our own rights and our own genres. We've been through a lot of the same struggles, especially at the start of our career, you know, being so different and being out of the box. It kind of separates us from everybody else. So, and then we just do our own thing. So to have those guys on it, and of course, especially Travis Tritt, it's just a true honor, and really thankful to have him. And man, it's been super cool. You know, I don't not only consider him one of my favorite country artists of all time, but I can call him a friend, and that's I'm pretty honored to say that.
Did you actually get to work with Mick and Ivan and Travis in the recording studio, or did they do their own thing then send them on in? How did this work out? And if you got to work with them face to face, what have you taken away from this?
I actually, so the only one I didn't really get to work with face to face was Mick. We had to track him down and try to find him first, because we didn't know if he was in L.A., Nashville, or where the hell he was. But we got a hold of him, and he was MIA. And he's, from what I understand, a pretty private guy, and that's super cool. Rightfully so. He's had a hell of a career, and he's going to continue to have one. He's got a solo project coming out. He's heading back on the road with Motley, so that's super cool. I hope I get to see them live. But, you know, I worked with Ivan and worked with Travis personally, and they're just, one thing I could tell you about them is they're not only great humans and great artists, but they're just super down to earth, chill dudes. And you know, you get a little starstruck the first few minutes, but first thing Travis did when he came in was give me a big hug and say he's really proud of me and he's really thankful to be on my project. And you know, obviously I'm thinking, man, thank you, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to have them be so humble and kind and just cool dudes it's really nice to see. And, you know, obviously as an artist, if I have half the career they do and or the same career they do, rather just to stay true and be cool.
How does it feel to be able to put out a single, album, or EP today, especially since so much has changed, Cory, in the music world for bands now? And you know that just as well as I do. So much has changed for you guys. So how does it feel to be able to do anything right now?
Man, like this record we started working on in 2015, right? So it's been a long time coming, and we've all been really excited about it. We weren't sure that the world would react this way to the song, but we're very thankful that they did, and I'm super happy and stoked that they did. So I'm just really happy to finally get this music out and see what happens to it. There's more music coming here before the new year, and there's going to be a whole new album. This is one of 12 songs with Kevin Churko and Kane, so I'm just really excited to see how the people are going to react to the rest of this record, which is, we don't have a date for it yet, but it's going to be early 2020.
What's impressed or excited you the most about making this record, man? What sticks out the most about it for you? Is there just anything one specifically, or is it just everything all in general about it?
I think it's the whole thing. I mean, as you know, like Outlaws and Outsiders, just that one song, I don't think you can compare any country song to it, you know, or really any rock song for you know, for what it's worth. I mean, I just like the fact that it's a little outside the box. It's you know, it's a little edgier than your pop country and bro country here and now, and even, you know, going back to my favorites, Willie and Waylon and Merle, it's a little heavier on the country side, but it's also slightly lighter on the rock side, you know, with a country twist to it, to rock and roll music, if you will. So I'm just really excited about the sound of this record. There's a lot of songs. I mean, there's 12 songs on the record, and there's only one of them that I didn't write or didn't have a part of writing on. So I'm really you know, excited about that. These are songs that I wrote about some, you know, in that time of that record being written, I was going through I was on a little bit of a dark side and you know, going through hell a little bit. And although there's this whole record, there was a lot of ups and lots of downs, so it gave me a lot of material to write about, and they're all real stories and things I've went through or somebody close to me's went through. So, but I'm sure a lot of people, you know, we're only human, and we're all, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that can relate to certain subjects, certain songs on this record. So most importantly, I'm hoping that there's people out there that need that song, you know, that whether it's to bring them up or make them feel good, and I hope that's on my record, and I think it is on the record. So just excited to get this whole thing out, and hope that people love it.
Now, your favorite albums growing up were Ozzy Osbourne, the godfather of metal, and now it's come full circle. You're working with Kevin, who's worked with Ozzy on some of his albums. I mean, working with Kevin on this, man, has he got stuff out of you that no one else may have not have gotten possibly? I mean, because this has come full circle now.
And the cool thing is that, you know, with Kane, this is his first charting country song, which is pretty cool. And I had a FaceTime with Kevin last week after the release, and I think he told me that, you know, this is his first top 10 country song, which is really cool that he's produced. So that is really cool. Super honored to be. These guys are super talented dudes that work with, you know, these great chart-topping guys, and to be the first country boy to do that for them is an honor. But, you know, this record especially, I think, going back on what I'm most excited about is what Kevin got out of me. You know, there's some emotions that, you know, that need to come out, and he definitely got that out in that vocal booth. And what we wanted to do is my live show is very high energy. It's very big and loud. And so what we wanted to do was he got that live show out of me, you know, to do in this, you know, 8x8 or 10x10 booth, doing vocals all day. You know, there's times where we were doing, you know, 2 songs a day, or, you know, 1 song and doing all the harmonies to it. So yeah, he really taught me a lot, you know, just pushing, getting those notes out and holding those notes and sustaining it. And he might hate me for saying this, but on one song he pressed the mic to talk back to me and said I had him in tears. So that's pretty cool to say that I had a heavy metal dude in tears with a good ballad.
Do you think that some folks that are traditional country lovers, they're gonna kind of stray away from this heavier version of a country song, possibly, man? Or do you think eventually they're gonna come around to it? Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, most of the comments, I mean, I'd say 90% of the comments have been absolutely amazing. You know, there are some people that are going to be kind of hard asses about it, but the cool thing about this record is not only we have songs like Outlaws and Outsiders, we have some beer-drinking anthem songs, but of course, being a huge Merle Haggard fan, I write a lot and love classic country music a lot. I mean, going back to Buck Owens, you know, Willie Whalen, Merle, Vince Gill, all those guys, you know, I have a great appreciation for those. And even going back to, you know, Walking the Floor Over You, all those, you know, even like Hank Jr., all those guys, I listen to a lot of that stuff and have a great appreciation for the songwriting. And it's not just, those guys didn't just write a song to write a song for a hit. This is actually, you know, something that they lived and went through, right? So I find when you look back at those old records, you feel the pain through these songs, right? So that's important to me, to, even though it's a heavier song, not specifically this one, Outlaws and Outsiders, but some on the record that are fairly heavy, you know, I'm really, you know, going to that spot, you know, that trigger that, you know, it's, you know, hard time in my life. So I think that's important to express as an artist. But in saying so, there's a song I wrote on there on the record that's called Whiskey and Wine. And, you know, that's a huge song that's influenced by Merle. Obviously, he's my musical hero, and I'm really influenced by him. And this song is kind of a mix of Merle Haggard and Vince Gill. It's an acoustic, really, you know, classic country song. So there's a bit of everything on there. So if they don't like the hard stuff, there's going to be a real, you know, couple real country songs on there for them.
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff by Shooter Jennings. I think that he's a great musician.
Yeah, man, he's super cool. And I actually, the guy who shot my video, shot a lot of Shooter's videos, and is a good friend of Shooter's. So it's he's a great artist, and definitely follows that Outlaw brand.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this new single, or message you hope to hear while listening to any of your music, Cory, in general? What do you hope they get from it, man?
Well, I just hope, you know, it's relatable to them. I hope, you know, they could relate to the song. I hope it brings them up if they're feeling down. You know, I just think that, you know, if you're feeling like an outlaw and an outsider, that's okay. That's okay too. Keep doing what you do. And funny, there's actually a song I wrote on the record that's called that. Keep doing what I do. And it's just that, you know, stay true to who you are and what you believe in, and just do you, man. Don't worry about all the, you know, bullshit out there. And just even though some of the stuff is pretty, you know, heavy in your face, it's still still be kind and be sweet and yeah, man, just hope they love the record.
What do you bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything, Cory? What are you adding to that wheel?
I think, this song and this record, as I mentioned before, has, it's got that perfect mix of, classic country, if you will, and rock and roll. So I think it's a little, on the country side, it's a little more rock and country for the most part. It definitely has that rock influence for country music, but then on the rock side, it's got a little more of that country feel to rock music. So there's nothing out there like it, to have that kind of, Ozzy Osbourne production with, the best way I could describe this record, it would be like Merle Haggard meets Eric Church meets Ozzy Osbourne, and it's all mashed together. So I don't think there's a sound out there like that. Having a world-class producer like Kevin Churko on there, I think we've done a great job at making this record different from anything else, especially in the country music world.
What can fans expect at a show from you who have not got to see you live yet, man? What are they going to get when they come to see you?
Well, you're gonna feel a lot of energy. I like getting right in your face and get people going. That's one of my biggest influences in that is Eric Church. He's big and he's loud and he's proud when he's up on that stage, and that's definitely something that I've embarked on and I've always been, especially being a metal fan, and Ozzy Osbourne does it too. So you can expect some heavy, loud, in your face music, but you can also expect some stripped down acoustic stuff that might bring you to tears. So a little bit of everything.
I know that there has been rock musicians that's done stuff with country artists, but do you think that this is kind of, I guess, breaking down the walls, of blending country with rock and metal? Do you think this is a step forward into that?
I think, did you say breaking the law?
No. No.
That's what I heard. I was going to say, well, that's what Outlaws do.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
I come from a very musical family, so as a kid, growing up, I had a very special birthday because my mom was the baby of 8, and I'm the baby out of all my cousins on my mom's side, and I was born on the same day as my grandfather, 65 years apart. So in Canada, that's that October 11th, that weekend, that second week of October is Thanksgiving up in Canada. So we would always pack the car, load the car, and go drive 2 hours north of where I'm from, and all our aunts and uncles and cousins, we and I was too small at this point and didn't play at the time, but I watched everyone sing, George Jones, Merle Haggard, Waylon, and all the great classic, Johnny Cash and all that stuff. So I grew up on that, and watching that really influenced me on wanting to be able to play guitar and sing. But my dad was a drummer, so at the age of 10, I got my first drum kit after being kicked out of class for tapping on desks and stuff. They figured they get me a drum kit. So I started drumming at the age of 10, and from 10 to 20, I was in rock bands, metal bands. I was in my high school band, and that was a great experience because we did a little bit of touring and, was rehearsals twice a week, and really got the kind of taught me to be professional, a little more professional when it comes to music. It's not just get up and play and rock out and kick amps over and whatnot, which is still cool, but that's not what it's all about. Growing up with friends that were such great musicians and singers as well, they influenced me, but I was always shy, like I said, to sing. I wanted to be the next Tommy Lee was the dream. Long story short, I went through losses. I could have done quite a few other things, but music found me, and I started songwriting and singing at bars. And once I got that feeling, of making a whole bar come alive, with my music and obviously playing my favorite covers, it's just like a bug that I guess I couldn't get rid of, and thought, really, especially the feedback that I was getting from my live shows, that I could really do something with this. So I kind of, took a few years to just focus on that and that only. And eventually that became my full-time job and still is my full-time job. And now we're here.
So did you see yourself wanting to become a country musician or more of a metal musician? Or did it even matter?
Well, for drumming, obviously playing the heavier, I was a big Rush fan, Dream Theater, Deep Purple, some really progressive stuff, also like Pantera, Lamb of God, and Arch Enemy. So I was playing that stuff as a drummer in my teens. But there was something about the songwriting and the vocals in country music, again, listening to Merle Haggard and many other great, I mean, even going to Brad Paisley in my high school years as a great singer, songwriter, and guitar player, that was definitely a huge inspiration. And I think I connected more. Melodically, I loved rock and metal because, you know, the music is so great. You know, I love it, but, you know, sometimes you can't really, what was he saying? Is he yelling at me? You know, you don't really know what they're saying, but, you know, and a real country song, you know, you can hear the lyrics, you can feel the lyrics, and sometimes if the story's good enough, you can see the lyrics, you can see the story. So that resonated with me, and I thought, you know, I want to do that with my life and my music, and I think that's what we've been doing, and that's what this record's all about.
Is there a country that stands out or shocks you that you get support from, or your music even gets played in that area so far?
I mean, I'm pretty blown away by. I mean, part of me expected them to love it, but I'm pretty blown away by the support from the Five Finger Death Punch fans and Motley Crue fans, of course. Mm-hmm. You know, they're more into that heavier stuff, and even though this is heavier, it's not, you know, Motley Crue or Five Finger, but I think definitely having the features on it helps. But I was a little surprised by their reaction. I was kind of worried about how they would see it, and I'm just really super happy that they're supporting it and they love it as much as we do, and they love seeing Ivan, they love seeing Mick on it. And of course, you know, my hope was to, you know, obviously eventually be worldwide at some point in my career, but not off my first single. I wasn't really expecting that, and to be topping the charts on you know, iTunes and streaming and downloads in Australia and in the UK as well. That's man, that just blew me away to see this really. And even the messages I'm getting online, you know, on Instagram and stuff from Brazil, Venezuela, you know, all over the UK, Germany, Austria. It's really it's amazing, and I'm just so thrilled and excited to see that. And I hope it keeps happening and take this music across the world.
It's like I've always said, and people kind of look at me like I'm crazy, but music has no color. Music has no boundary. Music has only feelings. Music is what you get and the vibe you get. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Whether it's you know, melodically or lyrically, you know, music can speak to you even when it's just music. You know, no vocals or no lyrics. So I think that, you know, good music is good music, man. So, you know, and I'm a guy that, you know, yeah, I listened and grew up on Merle Haggard and Buck and you know, Ozzy and Rush and Deep Purple. But I also love, you know, like Biggie Smalls and Tupac, and, you know, it goes all over. And I think as a songwriter, I can respect all kinds of genres, because with certain songs, really, if you listen to the lyrics, it's a very meaningful, powerful song. So you got to be able to appreciate that, and I do. So I definitely, and I'm thankful to have friends that, you know, maybe they hated country, but, you know, they love some of these pop guys and rap guys that, you know, ultimately, I mean, even a guy like Eminem, you got to give him credit. I mean, he's a genius when it comes to lyrics. So, and a lot of those guys are. So I just have a great appreciation, and like I said, good music is good music.
Yeah, especially when your music can save somebody's life. My God, that's the ultimate pay right there.
Yeah, I think you know, not only if you could save someone's life, but just take them out of a dark place or just simply make them feel better. I think that's really important as an artist too, to relate and let them know that there's other people in the world that are going through that, and it could be the biggest names on the planet that are suffering from what you're suffering, whatever it may be, and just know that you know, there's support out there and there's help, and don't ever be afraid to reach out for anything.
So this album is tentatively scheduled for 2020. Are we looking at spring, summer, fall? What are we looking at, maybe?
I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be early 2020. The latest, maybe spring. We don't have a date yet, but we should be finding that out soon, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I want to get this album for sure. I'm always interested in music, man. It doesn't matter. I was listening to bluegrass earlier, so.
I love bluegrass. Bluegrass.
I was listening to the Highwaymen, too, so, you know, go figure.
Gotta love those boys.
God, yes. Their music, if anybody doesn't know, go out and get the Highwaymen if you like stuff like this. It's Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard. No, it's not Merle Haggard. Yeah, it is, yeah.
No,
it's not. That's right.
It's Chris Christopherson, yes. Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash,
yes.
and Waylon Jennings.
Yes. My bad. So
all good.
I mean, if their music is eerie, if you listen, it's good music, but it's kind of eerie the way they play it. It's just it's good stuff.
I mean, even if you just listen to the song "The Highwaymen," High Woman actually did a version of that too, and man, it just tells such a great story, and it's heartbreaking. It puts you almost in a trance when you listen to it, and that's when you know it's a great song, if it just stops you from everything. As long as you're not driving and you stop everything,
yeah.
Then those guys were all great artists, great songwriters, and just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can't appreciate their music and what they brought to the table at that time, there's something wrong with somebody. Honestly.
Yeah, something going on.
You guys are planning a tour with Gord Bamford, is that correct?
Yeah, so we're crossing Canada with Gord Bamford doing a Western Swing. I believe it's starting in late February, and Gord's been a great support of this new music and a great support of me, and really thankful that the tour is already made up, and he decided to bring me on board and be a special guest on it. So I'm really looking forward to getting back out on the road again.
How can folks stay in touch with you, buy some merchandise, tour dates, all this good stuff when this goes down? How can they do that?
Yeah, well, you could, for any updates or any info, please just visit my website, CoryMarks.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Cory Marks Music. And I do all my own socials, so if you send me a message or a DM, I'm the one answering you. So please follow and go out and buy or stream the new single, Outlaws and Outsiders.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show, sir?
Sure. All right. This is Cory Marks, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and our YouTube link. Please subscribe to our YouTube link, because anything and everything that we got is going up there, and there's a ton of stuff that's going up there. Get out and check out Cory Marks. Check out this single, Outlaws and Outsiders. You will not be disappointed. Cory, I wish you nothing but the best of luck, man, and you're welcome back on here anytime that you want, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, John, and all you American friends out there. I can't wait to see y'all in the new year.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.